Hi. So in this video, we're going to talk about equivalent fractions. So equivalent fractions represent the same quantity. Okay. So what I've done here is I've drawn out 4 pizzas or anything circular, and I've shaded in the same quantity in each circle or pizza if you want to imagine it in real life. However, it may look like they're different fractions, but because they're all shaded in at the same area, they are all equivalent. So if I was to write out this fraction, that is 1/2 of the pizza. This is 2/4 of the pizza because it's split into 4. This one's split into 8 and 4 shaded, so it's 4/8. And this one's split into 6, but 3 are shaded, so it's 3/6. And they are all equivalent fractions. So sometimes you'll be needing to change fractions into an equivalent fraction for calculations. So we're going to learn how to do that. So I've got 3 fractions here: 1/4, 3/8, and 9/10. Write down 4 equivalent fractions of the following. Now, there are any number of answers. Okay, I could come up with thousands and thousands of equivalent fractions if I wanted to have huge numbers. But let's just do some ones that are close to these ones. So if you've got a quarter, what I could just do is times both of those numbers by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And that's an equivalent fraction. Whatever I've done to the top, I've also done to the bottom. So let's take another number. Let's multiply it by 3. Let's times the top by the 3 and times the bottom by the 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. And there is another equivalent fraction. So we did another one. Let's multiply it by 10. So let's take the 1/4 times the top by 10 times the bottom by 10. 1 times 10 is 10. 4 times 10 is 40. Another equivalent fraction. So let's just do another one. We're going to have pen colours. Let's multiply it by, to show you that you can do any numbers, let's multiply it by 1,000. So times the top and the bottom by 1,000. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. So they are all equivalent fractions of a quarter. They represent the same quantity, but they're just in a different form. Okay, so let's try it a different way, the same way but with different numbers for 3/8. Okay, so let's times that by 4 this time. Times the top by 4, times the bottom by 4. Oh, wrong fraction. 3 times 4 is 12. 8 times 4 is 32. So 3/8 is an equivalent fraction to 12 over 32. Okay, let's choose another one. Let's do 10 again. So 3/8 times 10 to the top and bottom, and we get 30 over 80. Let's do another one. Let's multiply it by 5. Oops. 5 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. 8 times 5 is 40. Again, another equivalent fraction. Last one. Let's take 3/8 and multiply the top and the bottom by 20. 3 times 20, so we do 3 times 2 is 6, times it by 10, we get 60. 8 times 20 is 160, so there is yet another equivalent fraction. So you can be multiplying it by anything. As long as you do it to the top and the bottom, you're going to have an equivalent fraction. Last one. Let's take 9/10 and multiply it by 2 and 2. 9 times 2 is 18. 10 times 2 is 20. Let's multiply it by 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 10 times 9 is 90. Equivalent fraction. Where's that brown pen? There, it's in my hand. Let's do another one. Let's multiply it by 40. 9 times 4 is 36, times by the 10 gives us 360. 10 times 40 is 400. Yet another equivalent fraction. And last one, let's multiply it by 3. 9 times 3 is 27, 10 times 3 is 30. There we have 4 equivalent fractions to the ones in the question. Okay, so whatever you do to the top, you need to do to the bottom, because that keeps the quantity that it's representing the same. It's just you're representing it with different numbers. Okay, so that's equivalent fractions.